Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to create this type in text effect on Wix Studio. The first thing we need to do is add a title text to our website, and I'm going to center that to the page. You can edit this text if you want to, but you don't actually need to at this point because we will be changing the text using Velo. The next thing we do is click on these curly braces and click Start Coding. And then we're going to select our text and I'm going to change the ID to title. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these comments at the top here, and we're going to write let's use a const. And we're going to call this title equals $W brackets hash quote mark hash title. Next we're going to type title dot text equals empty string. Now if we click preview, this should have no text written in it, but the text block is actually still there. We've just made it so that it's empty. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Wix's IDE. It's a little bit easier to see what I'm writing there. Though, if you go to use this feature yourself, if you open it without editing any text here first, you will need to write this on ready function yourself. I just found that out a minute ago. Now that is loaded, I'm going to click on source. We're going to go to pages and we're going to select this home.c1dpm.js, and as you can see we've got what we've written here on this file. Next we're going to create a function underneath the onReady function, and we're going to call this type text. And in here we're going to first have, I'm going to write const text equals, and this is going to be the text that you want to have typed out. So I'm just going to go with type in text. Next we need to select the target that we're going to be writing the text in, so we can just copy that from up there and paste that here. Then we're going to create a variable called number, and we're going to equal that to 0. And then I'm going to create an interval with let. I'm going to call this type in, and that's going to equal set interval brackets, and then this takes a function. I'm just going to use an arrow function. And then we also need to set here a timer, and this is how often the interval will run this block of text. So I'm going to set for at 400 milliseconds. So every 400 milliseconds, what we put in here will run. So next we're going to use an if statement, and I'm going to put if number is less than or equals to text dot length. We want it to update our text, so we're going to change that to type in text. Helps if I spell it right. Right, then in here we're going to put type in text dot text equals text dot slice, and then we're going to open the brackets. We're going to put 0 and then number. And after that's done, we're going to number plus plus. Done that wrong, it's type in, not type text. There we go. So what this will do now, every time this runs, this is going to take the slice of this, it's going to go from the position of 0, which is the T, and then it's going to go to the number, and each time that number updates, it should start typing that out. If we go over to our site, we'll close that and click preview. Why isn't this working? I know why it's not working. We haven't called our function. In this onReady, we're now going to call this function. So when the page loads, this function will be called. Now if we click preview, we've got the type in effect. But there's a couple of other bits we need to do first, because at the moment this will keep running every 400 seconds. So we want to stop this from running. As an example first, actually, I will do a console log here, and we're just going to tell it to console log ran. Now if we go back over to our editor and we click preview, we can see that here it's still running that interval every 400 milliseconds, which we don't want. So we'll get rid of this. Actually, no, I'll leave it there for a second so you can see how it actually works. And then we're going to type if type in text dot text dot length equals text dot length. We want to clear interval, and the interval we want to clear is type in. It's type in, not type text. Now if we go back over to our Wix site and we click preview, we can see this will keep running, and now that the text is finished, it has stopped running the code. We no longer need this console.log. And that's how you can create the typing effect on Wix Studio. We can now refactor this to make this a little bit more reusable. We're going to pass into this function a target and a text to type, and the target is going to be the element that we want to target. So instead of having title there, we're going to write target, and instead of having type in text written there, we're going to write text to type. Now when we pass in this function, what we will do instead is the first parameter will be our element we want to target, so title, and the next parameter will be the text that we wish to have it write out. So let's put typing text 2. Now if we go over to our website and select preview, we should get typing text 2 come out. If you want this text to type a bit quicker, just update this number. We can change it to 200, and now every 200 milliseconds it will type, which is probably a little bit better than 4. I think 400 was a little bit too slow. We could also add a little line next to the text. So we've got a blinking indicator for when the text is typing, like you get when you're using Word. So we've got that little line there blinking like that. This will only work if you've got the width set to max content. If it's set to a percentage or it's more than one line, it doesn't work properly, unfortunately. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to come back over to our Wix IED. We're going to go to, oh, our styles page hasn't been created yet. So I'm going to quickly close the IED. I'm going to bring this open, click start coding, get this so that it's created. Got this selected. I'm going to call this type in. Oh. Now we open the IDX again, our CSS global file should be created for us. There we go. First of all, we're going to do, we're going to type in, and we want the rich text, and we're going to position that relative. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to target the type in again, and we want the rich text again, but this time we want to use the pseudo element after. And an after's got to have a content, and we want that content to be an empty string. We want the height to be 100%. This is why it only works for one line of text. Width, we're going to set at 2 pixels. You might be able to play around with this to get it to the size that you want. We're going to set the background color to 333, and then we're going to position this absolute. We want it to be -8 pixels on the right and a top of 0. Now if we click preview, we should have that line there. There we go. Next, to create the blinking effect, we're going to create a quick animation. To do that, we put at keyframes. This identifier I'm just going to call blink, and we want it to go from an opacity of 0 to an opacity of 1. Next, we're going to assign this animation. We're going to put animation, then we need to type the name of the animation. Then we're going to have that blink every 4 milliseconds. We're going to put the animation direction in both infinite, so it keeps running continuously, and then I'm going to have an ease in effect. So now if we click preview, we've got the typing text. I think that's a little bit too quick. Or it might be because I've updated the speed of the text typing. You can play about with this timer till you get something that you like. I think though, to be honest, you probably need to set it roughly to the same as this interval. Yeah, we do that. But then what we're going to do is, back in this global file, we're going to create another class. Just going to call this hide, and then we're going to target the rich text after, and then we're just going to set this to display none. Now we need to go over to our JS file, and in here we need to target the type in text, and we want to target the custom class list, and we want to add to that class list hide. So now if we click preview, we should have the type in text with the little blinking indicator, and after the text is finished typing, our indicator disappears. I hope that you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, please ask down below. Thank you for watching.